Hello guys and welcome once again to Kind Party. So today I'll be talking about the 4 instances that you can resign from your job without serving the notice period. And please always remember that before you leave your job, I always tell people this, before you leave your job, before you even think of leaving your job, you have to make sure that you have something that will sustain you. Maybe you already have another offer from a different company. That's fine. Maybe you have another source of income. That's fine. But please, no matter what you're going through at your job site, do not leave your job without having a backup plan. Because I'm saying this because I've seen so many people who go out there and they start having issues at their job site and they just quit and they start facing worse situations, even more than what they were facing at their job site. Because maybe they have a family. How would they take care of the family? How would they cope with their expenses, especially if you're living in a country like this? How will you pay your rents? How will you feed the people that you were thinking that will assist you? They'll run away. There is no friend, especially when you are in a foreign land. You will hardly find people who will help you. I know that there are some exceptional people who assist you. Yes, but there are few. So you have to be careful when you want to leave your job. Please try to make sure that you have a backup plan. Today we'll be talking about the 4 instances that you can leave your job without serving the notice period. In this case, you have to note again that if you leave your job without your case falling under these 4 instances, if you leave your job without serving a notice period in your company, you are putting yourself in a tough situation that you can get a ban, a 1-year ban in this country. Okay? So you can only leave your company without serving the notice period if your case falls under these 4 instances. And that is according to Article 45 of the UAE labor law. And one thing again, I always advise people that please try to read the UAE labor law. It is open for everyone. You must not be a lawyer, you must not be a human resource professional. The law is open for everyone to read and understand. So people face issues today because they don't know the law, they don't know the rights that they have. And when you tell them the right thing to do, and when you tell them that this is what the law says, they think that it might not apply to them. But I'm telling you that in this country, the law applies to everyone. If you have an issue and you take it to the Ministry of Human Resources and Emiratisation, then your problem will be solved. I assure you that. I've seen so many people who have taken your cases and they even thought that their cases might not hold, but actually they won. And today they are smiling. So here we go again. The first instance that you can leave your company without serving the notice period is when you have been assaulted in the company. This can be either verbal assault or physical assault. So if you work in a company and maybe your employer is always hitting you or abusing you, throwing verbal abuse or whatsoever, talking trash, talking so many bad things about you, hurting your feelings, abusing you, being racist towards you, either your employer or anyone that you are working with, if they are abusing you or whatsoever, you have the right to leave that company without serving the notice period. But you can only leave the company if you give your complaint, if you send your complaint to the Ministry of Human Resources and Emiratisation within 5 days of that act happening. So if your employer does something to you that is like a verbal abuse or physical abuse, today you have the right to take that complaint on that same day or tomorrow. So if you take it tomorrow, then your case can hold. But if you wait after 5 days before you go and lay the complaint, then your case is in jeopardy. So if you are facing any issue at your workplace, be it verbal or physical assault or any attack on your person, then you have the right to lay a complaint to the Ministry of Human Resources within 5 days. And after laying that complaint, you can leave that company without serving the notice period, and the company will not do anything to you. That is the truth. Some people might say this will not happen this will not apply to you. It applies to everyone. When it comes to the law, the country follows the law. That is the first instance. The second instance that you can leave your company without serving the notice period is if the employer, your employer, fails to meet their contractual obligations. They fail to meet their contractual obligations, meaning they fail to meet the requirements or everything that was laid out in the contract that you signed. So this, for example, if they fail to pay your salary. I know many people have come to my inbox and they are writing me that they have not received their salary. So I've talked to them to go to the Ministry of Human Resources, and that is the way to go. If you are working in a company, for the first month they are not paying your salary, the second month they are not paying your salary, and you are still there, you are hoping that they will pay you. I'm telling you, they will not pay you all. At the end of the day, they might come on the last third month and they give you 1 month salary, and you have lost 2 months of salary. They will not give you all. I know many cases like this. When it comes to the first month, you have done your part of the job, you have fulfilled your own part of the contract. If they are holding your salary down, you have the right to lay a complaint to the Ministry of Human Resources. And if you lay your complaint tomorrow within 14 days, if the employer does not reply or does not do anything to fix that issue, then you have the right to leave the company without serving any notice. Remember, the key here is for you to make sure that you open a case, you lay a complaint to the Ministry of Human Resources that your salary has not been paid. You have done your work, but your salary has not been paid. Within 14 days, if the company does not make any statement or try to rectify the issue, then you have the right to leave that company. And the company will not do anything to you if you have already laid your complaint to the Ministry of Human Resources. Remember, the key is for you to open a case, leave a complaint. And it is free to leave a complaint to the Ministry of Human Resources. You don't pay any money. You don't pay any money. So that is the second instance. The third instance that you can leave a company without serving a notice period is if the employee is under any risk. So if you're working in a company, for example, in a construction company, and there is risk involved, of course, there are always risks in a construction company. That's why they need to have safety officers in place. But if there are no safety officers, there are no safety mechanisms in place to secure you from doing your job, and you feel that you are in any risk, you're in any way risking your life in doing that job, maybe through chemicals that you get, maybe through working under the sun, every day, maybe through some electrical works that you know that they might, maybe through some electrical wires that you know that might harm you, maybe through some different things that can happen at workplace, and you know that they are huge risk to your own person. If all these risks that you face at work, maybe radiation risk or heating or any electrical wires that have been exposed, but you have talked to your employer and nothing is happening, then you have the right to leave that company ASAP. This is true in so many levels. You have heard in so many places where people die. People die from their place of work in different parts of the world because of no safety gears in place. People work under the scorching heat. People work in tough conditions. You have heard about it in so many places. But I know that people continue to endure. People continue to do these things because they need the money. They can't run away. But at the end of the day, if there's no life, then there's no hope. So if you find yourself in a situation where you are constantly working and you're getting sick, maybe in a chemical factory, and you talk to your employer and they're not doing anything about it, then you have the right to leave the company without serving the notice period. When you leave the company, you can lay a complaint to the Ministry of Human Resources, telling them about the hazards that you are facing, and they will assess it and know that you are on the right. But you can never jeopardize your own health. So that is the third instance that you can resign if you face any risk at work. The fourth instance that you can resign without serving any notice in your company is if the company is making you to do extra things that were not outlined in your contract. So maybe you were hired to be a barista in a coffee shop, and you are working as a barista, you are making the coffee and all that, and later on you realize that they have turned you into a cleaner. You are doing the barista work and you are cleaning, you are the one cleaning the whole place. Or you are doing the barista work and you are the driver, or they turn you to something else. They turn you to the packer or the server. They turn you to different things in the company. You are doing so many different things out of your scope of work. Or maybe you were hired as a secretary. Maybe you were hired as a nurse, but you are doing the job of a general assistant. Maybe you were hired as something else in a company, but you are doing something totally different, or you are doing something extra on a permanent basis. I'm saying on a permanent basis because some companies can temporarily place you in a position just to cover up. That one, if it's something temporary, then it's fine. But if it's something permanent where you are doing something that is totally out of the scope of work that you signed for, then you have the right to leave that company. In all these situations, it is very important that for you not to burn bridges, make sure that you talk out, you air out your grievance, you air out your mind to your company or to your supervisor or to your human resource team, to your manager. If you are facing all these issues at work, make sure that you raise these issues with them. If they don't make any effort to fix these issues, then you have the right now to go to the Ministry of Human Resources to lay your complaint. After laying your complaint, you now have the full right to leave that company because you have a backing, a legal backing. You have something that is backing you. That company cannot do anything. They cannot place any ban on you anymore, according to Article 45 of the new UAE labor law. So that is that. Those are the 4 instances that you can resign from your work without serving the notice period. When you face any assault, when your salary has not been paid, when you're facing any hazard at work, and we are doing something that is totally out of the scope of what you signed for. In all these instances, please, before you resign, make sure that you have a backup plan. Do not just resign and sit at home. It is very easy to get a job when you already have a job. If you are working in a company, it's very easy for you to get another job in a different company when you are in active employment. But if you quit your job and go home, it becomes difficult for you to get a new job. So when you are working in a place and you are feeling all this, when you are working in a place and you're having all these difficulties at work, please start looking for new work. Start looking for work in a passive way. It will be easy for you to get a new job and you can have a backup when you finally decide to quit. So I hope you enjoyed this, and please always try to support us by subscribing to the channel. This is Kind Party, and I will always try to provide the best information to you all. Thank you.